Today I'm going to, yesterday I replaced this Winegard sensor Wingman antenna that was on the top of my roof. And a big reason why I replaced it is because all the gear mechanisms for this that makes it move up and down, it's all plastic, and they have deteriorated over the years on my 2014 Unity. And so this doesn't move, it doesn't really work very well. But also, these days, I find myself mostly streaming, if I want to watch TV or movies. So I don't even use these over-the-air antennas anymore. So anyway, yesterday I got up on the roof and I removed this from the roof. I made a template of this plate and made a cover for the hole that these leave in the roof with a sheet of aluminum, some aluminum sheeting, thin, not real heavy, and I can put a link to those, and replace this. So if anybody's interested in, removing this antenna, covering up the hole in the roof that this leaves, and doing away with it, this is the video for you. Okay, today we're going to remove our batwing antenna. So first you have to take a metric Allen wrench and take this end off. And then you pull this out, and then using a Phillips head screwdriver, you take out these. And that, oops, well, you can see the heat has deteriorated it. So then that removes the piece on the inside. This is the shaft from the batwing, that's antenna part that's up on top of the roof. So now we'll go up on the roof and take that down. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is remove this Dicor from around these screw heads all the way around so you can get to the screws and take them off. Okay, so after a few minutes of digging all this putty off from around all these screws, now I need to go through and remove all the screws from around here that were under the putty. So I'll do that and we'll come back. Okay, so now I've gone through and I've used my putty knife to get all the cotton around it, and now we're just prying it up. And what you're going to find on this side where the cord is, there's a coax cable, which okay, I need to get something to unscrew this. Okay, I removed this coax connection from the top of the satellite. And so now we're done with this. Okay. So I'm going to, and this will just tuck down here. I'm going to put the cover over it. Now I'm going to clean off all this putty and clean the roof and get it ready to put a cover over it. Okay, so as you can see, I got my area all cleaned. I just used a simple putty knife. Then I used this rapid adhesive remover to get the old Dicor off. Then I used Windex and a mystery eraser pad to clean the area good, and then I used alcohol, it's in here somewhere, to clean this so I can stick double-sided tape to it for a plate that I've made. Now I cut pieces of dense foam that I had left over from other projects, and I cut them like in a wedge, in a conical shape, so I can stuff it down in the hole, because I want to make sure my holes stay sealed. So just force it in. Makes a nice sealed piece. If you push it too far, just pop it back up a little bit. Okay, so then now I'm going to take some Dicor and put it over the hole. Now, if you lick your finger, you can touch the Dicor and move it around. So it flattens out. And you can press it into the roof a little bit to make sure you're going to get a good seal around the hole. There. Okay. Now, as I said, I made this plate from a template I made with a piece of cardboard and the old Winegard antenna that I just took off. And now I'm just going to peel. This is a VHB double-sided tape that I use for my solar panel installations. So I'm just going to use it on this, because it will, if it holds solar panels down, it's definitely going to hold this down very well. It's hard to get this stuff started. Okay. Now I just want to make sure I put it back in the same, about the same spot that it was, so it covers up the nail hole, the screw holes, and everything that was here before. Okay, and then just stick it down. You can go over where you had the Dicor for the hole covers. Make sure it's all good and pressed down. Okay. And now we're just going to go around the seam with Dicor. I'm going to put a nice thick bead on. Okay. And as I showed you before, wet your finger. This is what I like to do. You can just let gravity do its thing. But I like to make sure it all gets sealed against the roof and against any paneling or whatever you're using, so you know you have a nice, good seal for the two against the roof and the panel. And this can also help you maybe deal with the mistake that you might have made, because you can move it around with your finger. Make sure everything got covered the way you wanted it to. Okay, so there we go. It takes the Dicor will get a skin on it in about 24 hours, and it will be completely cured in 5 days. So it takes a while, but after it gets a skin on it in, say, overnight or in 24 hours, then it's fine driving around, or even if it rains, whatever, it'll be fine. It'll be sealed. It'll continue to be sealed. Okay, so now we can go down and finish the sealing in the inside. Okay, I used my foam trick to fill up this hole. And I used the piece that I got from here just to cut out a template for a cover. Alright, I didn't like the cover the way it was, so I discovered I had a piece of the vinyl that Leisure uses for the ceiling, and so I covered my little panel with that, so I actually have a nice covered panel instead, vinyl covered panel, to match the ceiling instead of what I was using previously. And I had some white painted screws, so I used those. That'll make okay.